Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. You can do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman for some fantastic beard products that'll make your beard look and smell great. You can also go to TCG Player using the affiliate link below and shop there to help support the show. And last but absolutely not least, go to greyvikinggames.com with the link below to get those sweet arena codes. Anyway. Hello, class. Today we will be playing some more Nicol Bolas. Please open your textbooks to page Bolas is the greatest creature in the multiverse. Do not at me. I will not reply. Anyway, today, as it is Wednesday, we're playing some Nicol Bolas. We're doing a different deck, a completely different deck. So I'll actually give like a real DeckTech to it. But this deck is one that I found over on the good old Goldfish, MTG Goldfish, and this was a traditional historic ranked deck list, August 2nd, blah, 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 6-0. It says by a Platinum Mythic Rank player. This, I think, is just someone who uses a certain system, whatever. But this is the deck that they had. And it looked good. Definitely more black than blue. Mine's a little bit more blue than black. Or red than blue. Anyway. We got 2 Bloodchief there. Fantastic early game removal. 2 main deck Cling to Dust. I mean, reasonable. I think that if nothing else, I've seen a lot of the main deck Cling to Dusts in other control decks, like Esper control decks, and, you know, against aggro, you get life. Otherwise, like, you can just gain some sort of card advantage. You'll notice here that we don't have, oh god, I just realized we had no 2-drops at all. But we don't have Sorceress Canta, so we don't care as much about our graveyard being filled or not, so we can even use this to consume cards in our own graveyard. 4 Inquisition of Kozilek and 2 Thoughtseize. Inquisition, obviously, can only hit a limited number of things, but the nice part about it is that you're not going to lose life. Even the control decks are playing some number of CMC 3 or less cards. Mana value. I gotta remember, it's mana value. Mana value, 3 or less cards. I'm just saying MV. MV, 3 or less. So this typically is fine. We do have a couple of our extra Thoughtseize in the sideboard for when we need a little bit more of that widespread discard, that stuff that hits more things. But we still have 2 in the main deck. For Bonecrusher Giant, this card is just great. It's one of the long-running cards in my Bolas decks because of how good it is at this point. Damage can't be prevented, which I've never actually used, like, on an attack, but that is something that you could. And then, of course, you just get to hit something for 2. That's, like, extra reach on doming your opponent, or just knocking something out. And then you get a nice 4/3 that control players hate to deal with because they have to target it. It's great. 2 Prismari Command, 2 Kolaghan's Command. Each of them, you have the option to destroy an artifact. Each of them, you have an option to deal 2 damage to any target. Kolaghan's Command allows you to return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, so you can potentially rebuy back one of your Dragons, or even a Bonecrusher Giant. And then, of course, you can force a player to discard, so we do have a decent amount of discard in this deck, actually. And then Prismari Command allows us to create a treasure token to potentially ramp us into things, or it allows us to have ourselves loot, or have our opponents loot. 2 Sharon's, Torch of Defiance. She adds double red, which I guess can help from time to time, but also she's just allows us to have card advantage against essentially like control decks as well, where we can either keep them on a burn plan, or we can just outvalue them because we're getting 2 draws a turn essentially. So it's great stuff. Of course, Chandra can come down and yeet a creature, and then if somehow you get an emblem, you've probably won the game. Nikki B, ETB, Discard D, Flippery, Stronger E? I don't know. 2 Iymrith. This is a card that I've tried in a previous Bolas deck, and I find it pretty decent because of the fact that it's hard for controlled players to deal with while it's untapped, and you essentially have a way to draw more cards. Are you noticing a theme here? Card advantage and removal, essentially. 2 Crux of Fate. We have Dragons, and we plan on blowing things up that aren't Dragons. Speaking of Dragons, 3 Glorybringer. This is essentially just a hasty dragon against, like, control players. And against aggressive decks, you can kill their best thing, and that's pretty good. We got 2 main deck Dragon Gods, which feels bad, but, you know, we have 1 on the side, so that's cool. This is our mana base. We've got, I think the 3 cycling lands for red and black. We have a little bit of blue mana here. A lot of black mana, though. A lot of black mana. 2 Hive of the Eye Tyrant and 1 Hall of Storm Giants, which is very interesting. Gives us some creatures, some pressure for our control opponents that doesn't rely on being around all the time, so you don't have to deal with board wipes as much. Sideboard, additional Cling to Dust helps against actual dedicated graveyard decks. 2 more Thoughtseize, I talked about that. 2 Heartless Acts, just when we need a little bit more removal, helpful in a bunch of the aggressive matchups as well as mid-range matchups for their large creatures. Additional Nicol against control, additional Chandra against control, negates against control, 3 flunks against essentially aggro. Fun fact, aggro typically doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. So typically, you're going to be killing these things. 2 Shadow's Verdict, aggro, and Inferno the Starmans, control. Let's hop into it. Let's play with this deck. I've not played it. I've not done any practice games because I don't have the time. Traditional, historic ranks. All right. But I'm hoping it's good. Light Distrust. Interesting name. Going second, not the best. But this hand seems pretty decent. Blood Crypt turn 1, Sulfur Falls turn 2, kill a thing, nice. I will say hello. Giganta, this makes me assume it's a sacrifice deck of some sort. That does not confirm nor deny. Yeah, it's probably the Jund food deck. I think you just always bolt the bird, right? Make sure I can have one of the commands up. I guess I could just... Well, you're annoying, aren't you? I could just play a Bonecrusher Giant. Be annoying. I think that's what I'll do. Grab a black here, because I got plenty of red. Go and just play the Bonecrusher here. Can block this nicely. My opponent requires 3 sacrifices to be able to kill it. Obviously, they could go Cat, Oven. Nope, they just go with an additional Mayhem Devil. I block this literally every day. I play a Nikki B the Ravagey, taking 2 life. Getting rid of a card in their hand, and then, of course, next turn, I can Glorybringer and punch something. I never remember how much Corvold costs. Oh, right. Boop. Where's my deck list? There it is. So they Lava Coiled. So I got a 2-for-1. Do I still want to Glorybringer kill this? Yeah, I think so. My opponent might put Giganta in hand this turn. That would be annoying, but it would be fine probably. So we would go down to 15, then down to 13 in order to use the Glorybringer. They don't put Giganta... Well, they might still. They don't. Interesting. Because they don't, I think I want to just Nikki B here. Because Nikki B can block this. This could be an instant speed removal spell or something, so... Oh, interesting. Go ahead and just do this. They're going to sack the food and deal 1 to me? Nope. Choose to keep the food around, makes sense. I can force them to discard that, which is pretty hilarious. 2-3, 1-2-3. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is just force them to discard and... I guess I can just return Bonecrusher Giant to my hand. That's probably fine. Discard. Return a creature card. And they concede. Cool stuff. Absolutely cool stuff. Alright, let's see. Cling to Dust is fun. Flunk's great. Heartless Act is great. Shadow's Verdict is great. Don't think I need Thoughtseize or... Okay. It appears that my opponent was not having a good time. That's fine. I will move on. On to the next one. I got an interesting question on Discord by Slick Samos. If you could create a new creature class type, what would it be? E.g., soldier, warrior, knight, etc. See, that's a really hard question. So you can look at D&D, right? We don't have sorcerers. We do have wizards. We do have warlocks. Warlocks, relatively recent addition. But for the D&D set, no. No. Yes. No. No. If we look at the D&D set, it appears that sorcerers essentially are shamans. But we also have spell shapers. Do I want to cling here, or Inquisition here? I think I'm actually fine Inquisitioning here. Well, that can go away. What is this? Non-permanent? Yeah, it's fine. Well, I'm glad I got this out of their hands. Got a Bloodchief's Thirst, which can kill some fangs. Here, I think I just play this tapped, and then I can cling to dust their thing. So, it's... When I was looking at the D&D set, and, you know, I saw that shamans were the stand-in for sorcerers, I was thinking, like, is there a better class? Because shamans do feel more druidic, right? So, like, is there a better class? And Spell Shaper's kind of the only thing that really works. And with an Inquisition. I mean, I guess. I mean, I guess I just Thoughtseize this. It might be incorrect, but I'm gonna do it. I do not care about Callous Dismissal. I assume my opponent's gonna put Kihira into their hands. Yeah. How much do I have to exile? 5? Well, that's not happening this turn. Next turn I can just kill the Kihira if I want. Turn target non-permanent, so they can choose their own things, but... Narset, incredibly rude. I can still kill her, which is nice. Right. And the only other creature type that made sense, well, that's awkward, was Spell Shaper. But then I noticed that Spell Shapers all do the same thing. They discard a card to have some sort of effect. And
I still have much to learn.
There's no reason why that has to be the case. So I thought that if you modified Spell Shapers, so it's kind of like a rectangle square situation where you introduce a sorcerer class, and Spell Shapers are errated to be sorcerers. So all of those things that do that mechanic. Black, 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 black. I got plenty of black. I guess I'll go for a red here. Lordman. No, I'm going for black. So I guess I'll just Bolas here. They won't be able to do great stuff with their Callous Dismissals, but you know, essentially, oh, okay, makes sense. Essentially, you know, you have the Spell Shapers be sorcerers, and all of the things with that effect would be sorcerers, but not all sorcerers would have to be have that Spell Shaper design. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of fine with, awesome, I'm kind of fine with them just being shamans. I'd prefer it if there was something else. Hell, even like making them warlocks would make more sense to me than shaman, but at the end of the day, it's not really a big deal. So thinking, okay, this fighter, that sounds way too generic. We have warrior for that, that's fine. And I really didn't think any other of the classes from D&D could work. And, you know, when I was looking at the wiki...
I have just the trick for this.
What do you got? They're at 6. Search or Glory. Interesting. Ah, I can't even clink to dust yet. That's awkward. So I do this. They get to flip this, search for, I guess, probably Gideon. Why? Whatever. And I was struggling to think of something that would actually work as a new magic class. So then I was thinking, like, the only way I think that you could kind of branch out is do kind of like weirder things. Like, what would a telekinetic person be? Probably just a wizard right now. But maybe you could have, like, essentially like a psionic person. That's incredibly rude. How could you do this? Let's see. So I can Hive Tyrant, punch them in the face. This costs what? 4? Yeah, and then I could Bone Crush. This goes there. Oh, right, I get to exile things. Totally forgot about that. Let's exile you. It's only 5. So I'm trying to think of the best way to make it so they can't actually grab a Narset. So I think I actually have to leave that Narset alive. I think I don't use Bonecrusher Giant on the Narset here. Don't need to activate during your turn. Okay. So I can... Oh, right. No, my Bonecrusher Giant costs more. I should have killed that. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Because that's like an onboard effect. Yeah, that was... Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's definitely an oops. I'm going to sideboard for this matchup. Shadow's Verdict is decent because it does exile Gideons as well. Thoughtseize, obviously. What the heck? Okay, that's interesting. It is not a dragon, which is good. Target non-creature card with mana value 3 or less. My hope is that they're not going to try to put it on the wall. My hope is that they're going to try and put it on Kahira or the 1/1. And then I can snipe the creature from under it so they don't get the mutate trigger. That is the plan. We'll see if that works. Because they do have an unknown card in hand. Oh, right. Kahira is larger. Oh my gosh, please put it on the army. Oh, you fool. They should have put on the Kahira. Feels Goodman. Still don't have that? Alright, well. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Ugh. Crux here, destroy all non-dragons. Au revoir. Because that's a dinosaur for some reason and not a dragon. Who would have thought? Oh, I had 3 mana. Alright, let's go ahead and play this Bonecrusher Giant. We have to apply some sort of pressure to our opponent. Do we bring another Bolas? Probably. Probably bring that in, this in. Cling to Dust. Well, they're going to draw a lot of cards. Well, I missed Narset in this situation, that's for sure. I do also have Eye Tyrant, so that's pressure. See if they fire that Wrath of God off now. It's kind of fine if they do, I suppose. I mean, they're at 20 life. It's possible they should, like, chillax. They fire off the Wrath. They play that as a lance? Ask again. Why? I just don't make no sense. Let's go ahead and exile. Search for Glories, I guess. We'll try to get those out of the way. Also have a active Cling to Dust. That's mine. How could you do this to me? That's mine, though. Oh, I thought you were taking... Never mind. You're fine. I'm talking to my girlfriend, who I thought was just totally robbing me. Get an emblem as long as you control a Gideon. You can't lose the game. Yada, yada, yada. Sure.
I will prove myself worthy.
Ah. Sure.
Let's do this one-on-one.
Maybe I should have been getting chance for glory. Okay, well.
So that's what pain feels like. Count on a rematch.
Because there's technically no reason for me to play this land. Where's my Chandras? Where's my Bolas? Come on. Where's my Iymrith and Glorybringer? Like, I just need to kill my opponent at this point. They're getting too much value here. Teffer's incredibly rude.
This isn't a fight.
Do it. -3. Coward.
We need to move quickly.
Actual coward. Dude, what a coward, dude. Weasley, damn coward.
Defend yourself.
Hello, Kedjo. Yes, hello. Still chose the land, so I assume they're going to bounce the Bonecrusher. Sure. The ouchie wouchie. Just kill this. Or hit something for 2.
That won't happen again.
Won't it though? Won't it though, Gideon? Yeesh. I know what I did. Cast the Bringer. Attack. Do not exert. I think we hit Teferi here. No, you know what? I think, honestly, I think we just killed Gideon. Yeah, because Gideon's able to just shut down my creature lands. And my creature land can help me deal with Teferi and stuff anyway.
Revisit my training.
Should I play the Bonecrusher Giant? I think so. They've seen 29, I've seen 39, so they've seen 10 more cards than I have. I mean, I literally have 9 mana in my... on the field, like... I don't think there's really a reason for me to play this Blood Crypt, at least right now.
Let's skip to the good.
They choose to draw again. Very well could see another Wrath of God. We've seen... I thought we saw 2 of them. Have we not seen 2 Wrath of Gods? Huh. We've seen 3 Gideons. 1, 2, 3 Nissas. Narsets, sorry. 2 Transfer Glories. 1 Elspeth Conqueror's Death. A couple Callous Dismissals. 1, 2, 3. 3 Search for Glories. They can't get a board wipe unless it's Urza's Ruinous Blast, which of course they are playing. This is bullcrap. My Glorybringer is totally legendary. It brings glory to our Lord and Savior Nicol Bolas. Speaking of which, hey buddy, you can come out whenever you want, Nicol. Father, I want loops. These aren't loops, man. I guess I can put Teferi to 1. I assume he has another Teferi in his hand, which is, you know, great. Let's get rid of that, just in case they have another, like, Rodan moment.
Stop that now.
Stop it! That hurt.
Don't make another.
I'm absolutely going to play that now. I don't care that I'm losing 2 life, because against this deck, my life probably does not matter. We've seen 2 Wraths. I mean, we're getting a lot of information on our opponent, but, you know, they're getting a lot of information on me.
Hurry.
They draw, they're up to 2. I have a cheeky creature land. Yes, Mina, alright, apparently there's a straight planeswalker.
And learn focus on what matters.
Been through 22. The Calcis Missile their Narset? Sure. Well, for what it's worth, that is why I got rid of the thing. So are they going to... Oh, they can play Gideon again. Gotcha.
Virtue will always triumph.
Are you going to try and shut down one of my creatures again? They go for the Bonecrusher Giant this time.
Waiting for this.
Really appreciate the draws that I've gotten. Really appreciate the fact that I'm not gotten any of the strong cards, man. None of these. I would have taken, like, obviously this would be great. Another one of these would be fantastic. This would have been great, but no. Yeah, falling that one turn behind means I lose. Alright. Negates. Cling to Dust. Thoughtseizes. Shadow's Verdict. Sharon. Inferno. Nikki B. Could you not show me this right now? Thank you. Okay, what are we getting rid of? Gotta get rid of 10 cards. Crux of Fate is not needed. No, Crux of Fate is not needed. From what I saw, and I saw a lot of their deck, they do not have things that Shadow's Verdict can't also deal with. Inquisition is still great. They do have a large amount of 3 and less. Bloodchief's Thirst is helpful at dealing with Planeswalkers. Discard. I think maybe I want to get rid of Prismari Command. So I have to get rid of 6 cards? I still think Shadow's Verdict is worthwhile. Do I maybe just keep the 2 Cling to Dusts? Kills things. Kills my opponent. Maybe Chandra's not right in this matchup. That can't be true. That just can't. It can't be true. This Chandra, I guess, doesn't deal with Planeswalkers very well. I'm going first, which makes Bonecrusher Giant actually better. Shoot. Yes, I understand. All right, we gotta make quick cuts. We're gonna do this, this, take this out, and you know what? Take this out because I was running out of time. Such a slog to deal with decks like this. So we'll play first. Keep. Turn 1 Inquisition. What do you have? Alright. Get rid of Search. Get rid of Gideon next turn. I guess I could technically Cling to Dust this. I'm gonna do that, actually. Never didn't get there. Although I guess now I can't negate. But I won't need to negate until they're... Oh, wait, yeah. Still don't have that, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Although, I guess if they're gonna search for something, they're probably gonna search for something I want to counter anyway. I'm probably gonna be holding this negate up for a while. I guess they could just, like, this should just be a top deck Narset, and they just play Plains, cast Narset. That would be annoying. They just put Kahira in there. Okay, that's absolutely fine with me. Feel free to play Kahira. I will kill it. I mean, they saw that I forgot to turn this back on. They saw that I had both commands, and they knew I had Bonecrusher Giant. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's fine. It resolves. Sure. Die. I'll Cling to Dust to draw. I'll draw main. That's fine. I'm holding this negate. Does that signal that I have a counterspell? Yes, it does. I'm holding up this counterspell. Because if, like, I could have played Bonecrusher Giant, my opponent then plays Teferi, bounces my Bonecrusher Giant, and I'm not guaranteed a 5th land for Glorybringer, right? Are they going for it? That's fine. I assume this means that they have a counterspell that they're holding. I think they had to shock that in. Because they do have this. Would I counter a Search for Azcanta? Yes, I would. Search for Azcanta is very important in control mirrors. Really wish I had another land. I'm being punished for cutting that one land. Although, if I top deck a land, I mean, I can Bloodchief search this, like, it's fine. But now I could Glorybringer. Let's see, I could also play Bolas. Nah, it's Glorybringer. Alright, so you're gonna exert. You are going to go here, I guess. You're going to attack face. When he exerts, that's fine. I do not care.
Will consume you.
Non-dragon!
Look to the skies.
And here comes Rodan. My life is pain. I just want to let you know that my life is pain. Well, they don't have Lightning Helix mana up, so that's good. I think that means I get to... Oh, right. Rodan is just a dude now. Sure. I don't want to lose my Bolas to a Lightning Helix, so I think I'm actually just going to do this. Kill that. And then hit them in the face for 4. They're still relatively far away from Search being active. So I think I'm okay here. They're going to cycle their farmland. I was going to say irrigated prairie. Jeez, speaking is hard, okay? Miscast. Interesting. They play Narset here. That's fine.
I have practiced against keeping
I have
open
onboard
mind.
kill. They whiffed. Even better. I think first things first, I'm the A-list. Yeah, I can still play Bolas afterwards. I assume they might fire off this Lightning Helix, which will lose them to... Yeah, this is actually fantastic. Because it means whatever they have... resolves. Whatever they have in hand, I can get rid of. Okay, sure. Can then play this Bolas and just kill this Narset and be in a pretty good spot. Now, obviously, they can flip this Azcanta sooner because of the fact that, you know,
Not prepared.
things happened. Cycle, bad blood. Mystical Dispute, yeah, probably not going to be casting anything like that. Looks like they're going to main phase Aztal. Azcanta, words are hard. Interesting. A Gideon. I guess they could Gideon and then plus on the Hall? Or the Hive? I don't know, I said Hall. Yeah, they plus on the Hall. That's fine. Sheesh. We're going to draw first, see what my opponent wants to do. I technically could have just turned this into Gideon. Yeah, I could have just turned this like into Gideon. They got rid of a random land. I could Inferno here. But actually, 6. Oh, I could pump once with Inferno. Put them to 2. But honestly, Inferno comes out of nowhere, so I think here I do kind of just like Shadow's Verdict.
How do you feel about a rematch?
Just get red. Also, like, let me get rid of a couple of annoying things in their yard, so they can't get in the back as easily. Another main phase as Kenta. So it looks like we're going to have a game 3, hopefully, which also sucks, because it means it's going to take not my Bolas. How good you? That's just rude. I tapped it wrong. Well, technically I didn't tap it wrong. The auto tapper tapped it wrong. I should have gotten for 7. This should be at 5. If I lose with them being at 1, I'm gonna be very upset. Yeah, because that's lethal with Bonecrusher Giant plus Hive. Oh my gosh, I'm finna be upset. I mean, for what it's worth, I do have a decent amount of burn left. I got another one of these. Glorybringer has haste. Kolaghan's Man deals 2, some reach there. Chandra deals 2, you know, so there's definitely stuff that I can have. Chance for Glory, I don't care about currently. I guess they have it as like a last-ditch resort. They could just cast it and hope that they get Gideon off the top, although... Yeah, okay, that's possibly what they're doing. They could also search for Gideon with you know, one of the search cards, because I've only seen one of them so far. Yeah, so they could grab another one if they get it. Nope, they just naturally get the Gideon, so that's incredibly rude.
If it's a fight you want,
So I have to kill Gideon
no shame in quitting.
and kill them. That is technically possible, except they're going to destroy my Inferno. Or they might just... No, bouncing it I guess does work, yeah. Yeah, sure. I can still kill Gideon, though. This is fine. Activate this. Be sad if my opponent destroys it somehow. Kill this Gideon loser. Exile, probably Sarkin. I just don't want them getting things back. Okay, their Gideon dies.
Count on a rematch.
And I'll end the turn. End of their turn, I can Bonecrusher Giant them, put them to 4. And then theoretically kill them with Inferno, which can't be countered, which is cool. Okay, they're cycling. They're looking for some help. They know about my Inferno. Gosh, I'm so upset because... I mean, the thing is, they didn't have removal for my Hive Tyrant to kill that. And I guess technically I do just have 2. I do just have 2 Hive Tyrants, so...
Virtue will always triumph.
My opponent has less than 12 minutes, though. Which is actually pretty interesting.
I've been waiting for this.
Because it means that even if we don't have... So I can attack Gideon with the other one. I think it's correct to hit Gideon here, so I can just kill the Gideon with the second Hive Tyrant. Two, 4, 6, 8 mana. No, these are 5 total to do.
Next time, I'll be ready.
Okay. My opponent is down to the wire. Honestly, I think they should give up on this game so they have time for the next game. They might do that after looking at Azcanta. Yeah, I mean, that's not going to help them. They play Kazmina here. They're wasting their own time.
Join my cause.
I have an Inferno. Okay. Yeah, they wasted some of their own time. They're only down to 11 minutes now. Okay, going second here. Do we glean any more information? Well, we learned that they have access to Sarkhan, which is fun. Or Sarkhan. I don't know when I started calling him Sarkhan. I think his name is technically Sarkhan. No, I don't... okay. The Cling to Dust... They're still fine, I think. Do I want to put a land back? Possibly. Shadow's Verdict performed fine. I want this Chandra, and I want the land back. I think I want to get rid of this Chandra. She's good, but like... I just feel like the other cards are better? Maybe I'll cut down to one Iymrith. Put one of these back. And then maybe cut down to one Clink. Is that right? I don't know. It might not be right, but it's what I'm going with. I'm out of Agua. I mean, yeah, seems like a decent keep. I want to get under a search for Azcanta. Okay, F you. I'm going to play this. Then we can have Kolaghan's Command followed by a Sharon. We do have a Shadow's Verdict, which is actually super helpful against both of these. Although my opponent is probably going to play a land tapped, maybe this, and just pass the turn. I'm honestly surprised that they're not gonna... I hate you so much. Potentially next turn... Oh, that's actually a nice thing that they got rid of there. So next turn I can go into Chandra instead of Bolas. Because if they leave up a single white mana, or a single blue mana, which I assume that they're going to do here, it means they could counter my Bolas. But they can't counter my Chandra. I can +1.
What? My hair is on. This will be easy.
Oh no, I don't have the mana for it. Deal 2 damage to them. And as long as they don't have removal for my Sharon, I can play Sharon numbered dose and really start the tick down early. Opponent is down to 9 minutes, I still have 15. They decided to not have a Narcissus, so they recognize that they really need something here to deal with this, the Chandra. Now what they could do, and what they might do, is play out this Gideon, because they would still be able to hold up the Mystical Dispute. So they might play out this Gideon and then plus it so that the Chandra can't hurt them. I believe it's not just combat damage. Yeah. So it's possible that's the line that they're going to go with. From just my information, it does seem like the best line that they could do. Yeah, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. I should see a plus here onto my Chandra, holding up the Mystical Dispute. However, it's going to be very unfortunate for them because I'm not going with that mode. I'm going with this mode. Cannot be countered to get bent and plus. Now I could have minused to try and kill the Gideon. That's not necessary here. My opponent has less than 9 minutes. They're going to be having to play rapidly. Likely they're going to be making mistakes. Yeah, I mean, even as a 4-4, they have to go face here. Especially against this Chandra, I think they should have gone face. I think they have to kill me. Okay, they get rid of that card. That makes sense. Shadows of Verdict I can't cast, unfortunately. I can't cast this Negate either. Can't kick the Bloodchief's Thirst. Do I just -4 on this Gideon? They have 1. Yeah, I think I'm going to just -4 on the Gideon. It gets exiled, which is nice. I could just cast this Bolas. It gets the Mystical Dispute out of their hand, but do I care? Do I want to just get the Mystical Dispute out of their hand? No, I don't think I need to, because I'm gonna assume that my opponent still doesn't have an answer for Chandra. They took 2 life. I cast Mina. I cast Negate. They Mystical Dispute my Negate. Yep. That's totally fine. Now all I need is a black source off the top. And everything will be great. It's not a black source off the top. I will get rid of the last card in their hand. I'm very happy about that, and they can't really do much. I'm just gonna plus here.
No pressure.
Double the speed of the clock. They can flip that. That's totally fine with me. Obviously, they don't want this. Take 2. They can dig here a little bit. They can dig a little bit here, but they're really going to be limited on the amount of mana that they can put into things if they have to resort to digging with this. They end up deciding to go for Kahira here. It doesn't have lifelink like the cat one does. Loris. They go for a chance for glory. So once again, they're kind of looking desperately here. They're looking desperately here. They essentially have to find. They need a natural Gideon, or they need to get a land, and it doesn't look like they do it. So fairly certain they just lose. Yeah, I believe that means they just lose. Got there. Took a while, but got there. Man, like, I really enjoyed kind of talking about their potential lines from a limited perspective. I want to do casting, but like I don't want to come up to like an established group of people and be like, hey, I would really like to do casting. I know I've never done casting before, but like, here's a clip from my own video where I kind of do a casting style thing. It feels awkward. I think I'm not a good advocate for myself. I got a Drizzt. How do I feel about this deck as compared to my my other Bolas deck? I think it's a little too soon to judge. I will say, I feel a little naked without Narsets, Surtress Canta, and any way to just remove combos. So, Necromentia or whatever it is. So I feel kind of exposed without those cards. But I do like the general makeup of the deck. It has more threats, which I think is super important. Like, if we go back to my Bolas deck, yeah, I'm even playing fewer Bonecrusher Giants here. I'm not, I guess I'll count this. So, you know, we got 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, I guess? Yeah, looks, no, 6, 10, 11. I'm smart. So it looks like we have 11 there. And here we have 4, 8, 10, 15 minimum, 16, 17 if you don't count these, 18, 19, 20 if you count these. So it definitely has a lot more power to just kill the opponent and not lose the game from dirtling. Yeah, I'm probably going to stick with this deck overall. I think I'm going to try to make a couple of changes. The main ones, this mana pool probably can't justify a Narset, and I think that's okay. I'm going to try and put at least a 1 of Search in the main deck, possibly a 2 of Search, and the sideboard, I really need like 1 Necromentia, man. I need like 1 of them. I want to be able to just be like, oh, there's a card that I just do not want to deal with. It's got to go. So, I mean, I had a lot of fun. Bolas is always fun. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. This is the wrong screen. Send me things to my PO box, please. Anyway, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons. I finally updated the screen. Anyway, if you'd like to join them and support the show, you find links in the description down below. I do, of course, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, all will be one.